for joining us today for this episode of Beyond the Badge. We'll be talking to our Behavioral Health Officer, Scott Zapata, and his dog, Magic. So, Scott, thanks for joining me today. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure, thanks for having me. My name is Scott. I'm about 33 years old. I grew up in the Fox Cities and grew up in Neenah. I was able to go to college here in Oshkosh, and throughout my college experience found that Oshkosh was a great place for not only for me to live, but for me to raise my family. So the police department had an opportunity for me to join their team, and I graciously took it and was able to grow my career from there.
Mm-hmm. And what specialty teams are you on?
So I've been now a field training officer. I'm a member of our mobile field force. I'm a negotiator, and now I'm the behavioral health officer with Magic.
Excellent. So why did you become interested in the behavioral health officer position?
So when I first started back in 2012, I was talking to other more experienced officers, especially our SROs, because that was something that I really wanted to get into and really was interested in, was to work with kids at that point in time and maybe get into coaching and being able to be that positive figure in kids' lives. And I was talking with one of the SROs, and I said, why did you want to become a school resource officer? What do you like most about your job? And they said that they were able to still positively influence those kids in that position and were able to be that positive influence in their life. And I thought that was amazing. Mm-hmm. So throughout my 9 years as being a police officer, I grew to love working in the behavioral health field. I worked in Area 5, which encompasses both of our local hospitals here, Mercy and Aurora, and I was able to not only speak with, but work with a lot of people that were experiencing a mental health crisis. So when this position became available, I not only had a lot of experience in it, but I knew that I enjoyed it. And throughout my 9 years, I was able to find that I was able to be that positive influence in these people's lives and be able to help them and to be able to make that really big change that they need.
Yeah, I think this is a really great proactive step that our department has been taking to help people with mental health conditions or people going through crisis in our community. So as a behavioral health officer, what types of calls do you respond to and what types of things do you do with our citizens to help them? I
respond to pretty much all of the calls for service that a normal patrol officer can respond to. I, though, try to specialize and do a lot of the follow-up where people are experiencing that mental health crisis. And what I do is I not only make contact with the person that's experiencing that mental health crisis and de-escalate the situation and get them through that crisis, but then I also do follow-up with them, try to get them into services or talk with their family so we can be more proactive in their recovery and in their care so we can prevent another major episode from happening or a major crisis from happening.
Yeah, and I think that follow-up is really important. Have you seen a lot of success with that, and are people surprised when they hear back from you?
Absolutely. It's a good experience that we are able to provide as a police department for not only to know us before you need us, but then to have one officer that family or a member of the community can call that knows that it's a safe person, that's trained to assist them, that's not going to overreact or anything, and has their best interest in mind and is able to get them to the resources that they desperately need and desire.
And then it's also nice because you're familiar with the family and the background, so they're not meeting yet another new officer to try to explain everything that's taken place beforehand. You already have that background and the understanding. Right,
and then we sometimes tend, when we ask people the same questions over and over and over again, it kind of re-exposes them and re-traumatizes them to the negative experiences that they've had. And instead of being able to do that, now we're just able to skip that step and maybe bring up examples of those crises in their, in our calls for service, but then we're able to use that to better assist them and help them move forward.
Yeah, so keep on building upon that rapport that you develop with them.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think as a negotiator that those skills have helped you in this position?
Being a negotiator has helped me immensely. I've used my negotiation skills in my community, in my crisis intervention team training every single day throughout my career. It helps me gather rapport, helps me empathize with people, and we move then to get that behavior change and get them into services and help them realize that we're here to help and we're here with their best interest in mind.
Exactly. So let's shift focus to Magic. What can you tell me about Magic, and how did we come to get her?
So Magic is a 2-year-old golden retriever. She is considered a facility dog. We acquired her by working with Journey Together, which is a local nonprofit, and they specialize in training service dogs for subjects that suffer with PTSD. Magic is very friendly with everyone that she meets, and she likes to interact with everyone. So she wasn't quite able to make it as a service dog, but she would make it as a great facility dog. So when we got in contact with them, they said, hey, we have a perfect dog for you. And we interacted with Magic and were able to train with her for about 2 months, making sure that not only was she a good fit for our department, but we were also a good fit for her, and that she was going to be able to be happy and have a really good quality of life while working with us.
So tell me more about Journey Together and the unique training facility that they use.
So Journey Together, again, is a nonprofit, and they work out of the Oshkosh Correctional Institute. So they have multiple dogs that they bring into the prison system, and they have a program there that prisoners will apply to be a part of. And the prisoners are actually the ones that not only train the dogs, but take care of them 24/7. So the dogs live with the prisoners within their cell. The prisoners are responsible for taking care of the dog, cleaning up after the dog, washing the dog, doing all of their maintenance, and then assisting the dog with the training, and then also training the people that the dog are going to go with. So I was also trained by one of the prisoners and was able to really make a positive connection with them.
What a great partnership, and I think that really shows the emphasis we put on the rehabilitation programs here. It's nice working together with OCI and Journey Together. And then now, do volunteers come in then to take the dog outside of the facility as well?
So they do have that. They have a select group of individuals or families that somewhat foster the dogs and get them to go into like supermarkets or convenience stores or into the parks, or they practice walking on a sidewalk. Some of the things that they can't offer at OCI, but they bring those dogs out to, again, get them a little bit more socialization and get them into the real world to make sure that they're ready for when their service is needed.
So tell me about how you use Magic when you're out on calls or just out in the public. Hi.
So Magic is very popular wherever she goes. And when we get a call for service where someone's in a crisis, she comes with me in my squad car, and she is normally deployed right away. So she comes with me, and we try to talk to the person who's in crisis and see if they're able to calm down so that not only they can meet Magic, but then we can talk through and work through the crisis that they're going on. We had an incident about a month ago where there was a 10-year-old little girl at the Human Services building that was destroying property, putting holes in the wall, was just having a really bad night. There was an officer that was able to speak with her, and within about 30 seconds of hearing that Magic was going to come and talk with her, she was able to calm herself down enough to where we could bring Magic in the room and make sure that she was going to be safe as well, since there was so much destruction going on. So Magic was able to sit with the girl, and we were able to talk about her actions, what was causing her to feel like that, and then other ways to kind of work on her stress levels and decrease her stress levels when she did feel like she was getting really upset or angry.
So do you feel that Magic has been a very useful tool in being able to reach people that maybe us as officers or just people in general wouldn't be able to, that she just has a different effect because she is a dog and she brings that calming sense wherever she goes?
She absolutely has a different effect on people. We see it more quickly, and which really helps us in getting control over a situation. And like I said, she's loved everywhere she goes. She brings smiles to people, on people's faces. And not only with people, though, in our community, but also with other organizations within our community, our staff here at the police department. I mean, mental health is a growing topic, and everything with the pandemic in the last couple of years has really grown, not only on our community, but on everybody that's working here in the city and working at our police department. And she's able to give a 5-minute break to our staff and other members of our community to just relax and put a smile on their face and let them kind of reset, and so they can have a really good day.
Perfect. And I hear we're going to be hiring a social worker as well.
We are. We've already hired her. She's going to be starting with us in the next couple of weeks. Her name is Kayla. She's worked with Crisis in the Human Services, Winnebago Human Services, for the last 5 years. She started off on the Family Mobile team, and is now a crisis worker and is working with the intake division through their behavioral health department. So she already has a lot of insight about what is needed to get people into these services, and a lot of insight about what it takes to get people to go on a committal or what it takes to get them treatment.
Excellent. So just, again, another great example of how we're being proactive, working as a team to help the citizens in our community when they're having really bad days and dealing with mental health crisis or just crisis in general.
And really combining our resources together, because before all of this, it was our police department would make a referral over to Human Services. Now it's not a referral. Now it's just a continuation of that care, and we're able to really get people into services in a more quickly and efficient way.
Excellent. Now, do you take Magic to different events too? Like we had Coffee at the Cop this morning. Tell me more about those types of events.
So again, happiness, smiles on people's faces. So we try to bring her out as much as we can to not only get people to meet her, but that's also really good training for her as well, to make sure that she's staying social with people and that she keeps the personality that she has. But it's important for people to not only know that we have this canine, but also know about our behavioral health program and the positive effects that we're having on our community. So we are going out as much as we can and talking with people and spreading the word.
Excellent. So should we go into how she kind of works?
Sure. So for the most part, Magic's training is involved with getting close to people and then trusting me. So all of her training and all of her tricks that she knows how to do, it's her not only trusting me to get her into the right position, but then she wants to make a physical contact with people. So if people are sitting down or laying down, she'll put her chin on their lap or on their hand, and to make that physical connection to really entice people to pet her, which again is very soothing. Yeah. So Magic.
And then will she push into you then as well?
Yeah, she will try to really push in and really make a positive, good connection, again, to entice that petting or to entice that intention that goes into her, which it helps people get really soothed or helps people with soothing, and it also helps people just calm down and it takes their mind off of their crisis that they're in and puts it on the dog. And which, like we said, animals have a really good therapeutic value to them when it comes to calming people. So
she's has a perfect name. So whenever she goes on scene, she works her magic, right?
She does. She works her magic, and she's very motivated by food here. So we'll see if we can get her to come up.
She's had a busy day already, hasn't she?
She has.
Yes.
Oh, here. Let me undo your leash here, girl. All right. Magic heel. Good. Get closer. Get closer. Good. Good. Here. Wait. Front. Good. Can you go like this? Can you finish it? Good. Can you touch? Touch. Poke. Good. Good. All right. Did you want to sit? If you could sit, I could put her in position for you. All right. Hey, go visit. Whoop.
Oh, hi.
Down. Chin. Oh, come on, girl. There. Sit. Good. Go visit.
Hi. You know, he has food, don't you?
I know. Come here. So if I would lay, or if I'd be sitting, she'll come right in here, and she will lean right into me. So her hip is out, her right side is really pushing into me, and again, she's right in that position where she's going to say, "Pet me."
Please pet me.
Yes.
So
And
it's not normal for a dog to push in, correct?
No.
Is it a taught behavior?
It's a taught behavior. I mean, when you have a family dog, the dog will naturally, of course, push into like the owners or into your family. But when it comes to strangers, it's a trained technique that she has to learn and she has to be able to be comfortable with. So when she does this really quickly with someone, that's where the magic happens. That's where the therapeutic value is added. So, good girl, good girl. Oh. Ready? No, leave it. Sit. Paw. Other paw. Good. Paws up. Paws up. Paw up. No. Whoops. Paws up. Good. I know. Paws up. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Can you pray?
Oh.
Good. Right there. Good girl. Excellent. Excellent. She does know some sign as well, so I should be able to get her to go into at least 3 positions with just sign language. So if it's a really noisy area or if we need to be very quiet, but I still need to get her into a position. A lot of times when we work with the autistic community, sometimes noise and a lot of movement is what's triggering them. And we can, again, get her to get into a position without a lot of noise or a lot of extra commands. So. Good. Hey. Down. Good. So we would get her into like a laying down position like this. Again, if somebody would maybe be laying, she's very exposed right now, so she's naturally uncomfortable because somebody could step on her. All of her, vital organs or everything is very exposed. So this takes a lot of trust in me from her to do this. So we want to, when we get her in this position, we want to make sure that she's safe and that, the scene is going to be secure and be safe for her to do this. But this is very, again, enticing for people to be able to just touch her, rub her belly, and she'll just lay here and do this and let you rub her all day if you let her. So, come here.
So if the public is out and they see you, do you prefer that they ask before they pet Magic?
So anytime that you see a nice bright blue vest like this, whether it's a service dog or a facility dog, you should ask the handler if you can pet the dog. Sometimes the dog is working and the dog shouldn't be pet at that time. Other times the handler will want to get the dog ready to be pet, just so the dog doesn't get startled or anything like that. So always ask. Especially if we're like at a special event, if we're at Coffee with the Copper, something like that, when there's a lot of movement and a lot of people around, a lot of noises, just simply ask, say, hey, can I pet your dog? And it's not going to be a problem for me to get her ready so that people can pet her and interact with her.
And then just a reminder to the public, so Magic is our only facility dog, and that our other dogs are our canine dogs that usually are not pet.
Correct. So our other dogs are the drug, narcotic, and then apprehension dogs. So those dogs generally do not interact with the community as much. They do a lot of demonstrations, but they're not to be pet. They are working dogs still. And again, we want to keep everybody safe, and Magic is our safe dog. So Magic loves to be pet. She won't bite. She just loves to interact with people.
So when she makes that kind of low noise, that's not her growling, that's her happy noise, right?
Right. So when she rarely growls. The only time that she growls is when we play tug, and that's a very, again, controlled interaction with her. But she will, what we call grunt, and when she grunts like that, that means she likes something. So she's saying that you're hitting the right spot, and it's kind of like when a cat purrs. So. Part of our agreement with Journey Together was we have to have a retirement plan for Magic. So when she's ready to retire, her handler will have the opportunity to take full control over her and purchase her from the city. And then the other portion that they wanted to make sure that we had was that Magic is, when Magic is off duty, Magic is then a family dog. So she is used to being kenneled while at the prison, but when she's home, she comes home with me. She interacts with my family. She is a normal 2-year-old golden retriever at that time, where she's running and playing and just wants to, again, bring happiness. So she does come home, and she's not just kenneled outside or anything like that. So she does have a good quality of life as well when she's off duty.
And then do you have a special squad that you use?
So part of the behavioral health program is the behavioral health officers dressed in civilian clothes. So I'm dressed more like one of our school resource officers, where I'm in normal civilian clothes, but I do still have my duty belt. I still have access to my vest, and that's to have that more soft, more approachable sense to the behavioral health officer, and to get people more comfortable. A lot of times when people see a uniform, whether it's based on their past experiences or based on what they've heard or seen, sometimes there's a barrier that goes up because they don't want to get into trouble. And again, my job is to help people, and I want them to be able to be honest with me and approach me and talk to me about anything that they're experiencing. So when Magic and I roll up, we actually have one of our detective vehicles, and which still has red and blue lights on it, but it's all hidden. It's all within all hidden within the vehicle, so it doesn't have the Oshkosh Police Department logo on the side of it. It doesn't have the big lights on top of it. It looks like a normal vehicle.
So you wouldn't know.
So you wouldn't know. So if people are afraid of more, I guess a lack of a better term is saving face, where they don't want their neighbors to know that the police department is visiting them. People will never know, because my car looks just like anybody else's. So.
Well, thanks for joining us today for this episode of Beyond the Badge, where we spoke with our behavioral health officer, Scott Zapata, and our new facility dog, Magic.